Watch Dr. Drew's new show at 9 on HLN. Weeknights on HLN.
Tonight, a jury is seated in the Michael Jackson death trial with opening statements planned for Tuesday. The focus of the trial, how did the King of Pop really die? It's a question the world's been asking for over 2 years, and it all began with this call to 911. Take a listen.
We have a gentleman here that needs help, and he's not breathing yet. He's not breathing, and we're trying to pump him, but he's not.
Okay. Did anybody witness what happened?
No, just the doctor, sir. The doctor's been the only one here.
And that doctor was Conrad Murray, and the gentleman that lay dying, Michael Jackson. He was pronounced dead later that afternoon. 27 months later, a Los Angeles County jury will decide whether or not Conrad Murray is guilty of involuntary manslaughter. He's accused of administering a fatal dose of surgical anesthetic to the King of Pop. HLN is going to be covering this trial gavel to gavel, and I myself, obviously, I think you know, a background in medicine and addiction, so I will be sharing my point of view. And it's a point of view you're not likely to hear anywhere else, so I hope you'll stay with me on this. Joining me tonight, Brian Oxman. He has known the Jackson family for over 24 years. Judge Greg Mathis is the presiding judge of the syndicated court TV show Judge Mathis. Judge Mathis, 145 potential jurors filled out 30-page questionnaires last week. What did it take for 12 of these jurors to make that final cut?
Well, the attorneys had to determine whether they felt bias, of course. That's the prevailing principle. And then they wanted to get a little deeper into their psyche. So, as I'm told, they went into social networking to find out more about these folks. And the questionnaire would probably be most revealing in the sense that it answers the questions. It tells whether they've been victims of a crime, whether they have immediate family members who've been victims of crimes or whom have been on pain medication, even as far as asking, have they had sleep disorder or insomnia? Those type of questions would have given insight to the lawyers to ask that they be stricken from the jury or use their 3 peremptory strikes.
And Judge Mathis, let's talk about bias for a quick second. How is it possible that they could find 12 people that meet all those criteria you list and not have some sort of preconceived idea of the story of Michael Jackson?
Well, certainly everyone knows about it throughout the world. And the question is whether they can have a preconceived notion that is balanced and fair. Some folks might look at it and know the facts and say, well, I'm not sure, I just don't know. And from what I'm hearing on both sides, everyone has a point. And so I'm just going to wait and see. In fact, that's what that's what judges have to do. And so perhaps we have some of the juror candidates also that may have been able to do have such a consideration.
Now, earlier this week, lawyers for Dr. Murray filed a motion to show videotape of Michael Jackson at a March 2009 news conference. They believe the video supports testimony that Jackson was not physically capable of performing in his planned 50-concert tour. Now watch this.
I'll be performing the songs my fans want to hear. This is it. I mean, this is really it. This is the final curtain call. Okay? And I'll see you in July.
Three months after that press conference, Michael Jackson was dead. Now, Brian, you knew Michael Jackson. You were probably around him during that whole time. My question is, was he healthy? Was this a man that could tolerate a 50-concert tour?
The answer is absolutely not, Dr. Drew. Everyone in this family knew full well when 50 concerts were announced that this was a serious problem. I got a call from LaToya. He said, Brian, he can't do 50 concerts. They're going to kill him.
Is that why LaToya thought that there was some sort of premeditated, let's call it a wish for Michael's demise, that it was so clear to her that this would kill him, that anyone pushing him to do this tour was committing him to a death sentence?
I say yes, that's right. LaToya and I talk a lot. We talk at all hours of the night, and she says I incite her with the information which I have about the case because I'm very deeply involved in the facts and the documents involved here. The thing here is that Michael had a broken back, and everyone in this family who loved him, who knew about him, who was familiar with him, said there is no way to do 50 performances. Randy Jackson called me and said the same thing. Brian, what are they doing? It's going to kill him.